Welcome back to my channel. This is Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts. Welcome back to the corner to corner mystery crochet along. This is part 3. There won't be any crocheting on camera, but there's still something to crochet in part 3 and I'm really excited. So you may not have to crochet all of it, which is why I'm not showing it on camera for everything, because here you have many ideas and I'm going to go through as many as I possibly can, but of course you can still have more ideas. I'm going to show you a few different ways on how you can finish part 3 and I'm really excited for it. And at the very end I'll show you my version. Okay, so I do recommend doing a couple more things here. Okay, so we did this in part 1. You know this is the rectangle. You did this in part 2, which is the square, and now is your choice. So you can do the exact thing one more time. So you have 2 of the exact same thing. So that is one choice. The other choice would be making everything in the color. So not this one, but this one. So if you have enough yarn left over, you may not have enough. If you only got one skein of the Momenti, you won't have enough for that, I can promise you. But if you do have a little bit more yarn, so this is kind of what I have left over, and I don't think it would have been enough in order to do the full entire one. Okay, so just a little heads up on that. So you have your choice. You either do the exact same thing one more time, or you make everything in one solid color. I recommend this color instead of the white. And here's why. So what are we actually making? Well, I intended to make it into a functional project, okay? So mine is a pillow / bag. So you have a few different choices on how you can finish it now. We have a few more things to do and I'll get into it in a second, but let's talk about a couple of things first. So this one right here is actually another little pocket and it can be reversed. Okay, so once you kind of sew this on here, you can flip it over to this side. Okay, so it can be flipped. So just keep in mind how you sew it on, but it'll be able to flip it back and forth. You can also use this one right here and make a little tiny pouch with a zipper if you like, totally up to you. You can also, and as I said, this is a pillow / a bag. You can also use this right here as your handle. So if you've ever seen a bag where you can kind of hold it with your arm like this, you can totally do that. It may be a little long, so in that case, I may even recommend you making it like double. It's also more sturdier that way. So you kind of sew it on this direction and then have it like this. So let me show you. So this part would be sewn here, okay? And then this part would be sewn on this. So this is kind of doubled, right? So it has a little bit more stability and you can totally use this as a bag handle. So you can put your arm in here and then you're good to go. So you can also put it inside as a little pouch. Little pocket or some sort, whatever you want. I am going to use it as a big pouch. And why am I going to use it on the outside and why am I going to flip it? So reversibility, right? Well, a couple of reasons. The reasons why I have this here is because if you use this as a pillow, you can put your books inside here, right? And now is the reason why are we flipping it? Well, this comes back to this. What is this? Well, I'm going to use one side as a kitty cat and the other side as a bunny. So here are the few things. And again, you can finish it up however you like. You can make a totally different animal. You can make the same animal. Whatever you feel like doing is totally fine. So let me show you a couple of pieces you're going to need if you are doing the exact same thing as me. So if you're doing a kitty cat, we have some ears right here. Okay, so we have that pattern. Everything is written down, of course, in part 3, right? So we would have here some ears. To make the ears a little cuter, we're going to have some hearts right here for that centerpiece, right, for the kitty cat. So we have the kitty cat ears like this, so obviously sewn on. You have a choice. You can sew the entire thing on, or you're going to only sew on the part on the bottom, so that way this is kind of three-dimensional, kind of like flips like this. It's up to you however you're going to sew this on. I may leave it a little bit and probably just sew it like a small triangle like here. So this is kind of a little bit off and hangs away a little bit and has some 3D effect. Then you make a couple little black circles, and I just used some white. And yes, you're going to need a little bit of extra yarn here, and black. Most people have black at home. And it's just 2 rounds, starting with a magic ring. Everything is written down on my website and in my membership. And then you just use some white and it went in a circle, going back and forth with some yarn, and made a little dot right there. So 4 times I went around, and then I sewed it up and wove it in. And then you have your eyes, which you're going to sew on. Obviously, you can glue anything on if you wanted to. It's up to you. Where you're going to put the eyes, again, up to you. You can put it closer together, further apart. I'm probably going to put them roughly right here. And just to make the kitty cat actually a kitty cat, we have another heart. That is going to be the nose right here. And then there's just a little part missing right here that I'm going to sew on once everything is sewn on. And that's the mouth, right? So this is the nose. This will be the mouth. And then there's just some whiskers missing here on the side. So this will be the cat. All right. And then on the opposite side, we're going to have the bunny. So for the bunny, it also has a mouth. I'm just going to use the same template here so I don't have to flip everything. But this is the bunny's going to be on this side, okay? So we have the same nose. We're going to have some ears, and however you want to sew them on, again, is up to you. You can leave a little bit off so something can kind of flip, you know, the way bunnies are. But we also have an inside part of it like this that you're going to sew on. And of course, we need 2 of them, right? So we have the ears and we have the nose, and then the eyes I'm going to make like this, like little half moons. Right about here, I'm going to put the eyes, and then I have the mouth right down here below again, right? So it's going to be like in black lines. So the nose and the lines, and then the eyes are going to be like shut like little half moons. So that's how I'm going to do the bunny. And then at the very last thing, I also used my knitting machine, which is this one. But again, however you want to do the handles, you can totally crochet the handles however you want. I use this guy really quickly because it works very fast and I had it at home. So you can also do the eyes exactly the same way as you did for the cats. Now that's totally fine as well. Okay, I wanted the bunny just to look a little different, which is why I'm not using the same eyes. And then for the handle, I just used the knitting machine, as I said, so I have them right here. Now here comes the part on how to turn this entire thing into a bag if you wanted to. So if you want to do it as a pillow, of course, you're going to need a pillow insert. So I have this thing that I bought from Amazon. It was like a 3-pack or something. And it is this insert. It's called 16 times 16, and the cover needs to be 14 and 14, which is what we have. But you can also just use plum polyfill. I also had some fabric at home and a zipper. The zipper was longer, so I actually cut the zipper a little bit on this side right here. And my sewing machine, ignore the lines, they're not going to be shown anyways. This is where I did some measurements. My sewing machine allows me to make a little buttonhole here. And I'm going to take advantage of the fact that there's holes in between here. So once I sew this guy to this guy, I have the bag from the inside, and I'm going to use then these handles to push them through, obviously from the crochet side through these little holes here. and then make a knot on the other side. So, and I can pull this through anytime I wanted to. And I'll show you, of course, how this looks like. You don't have to do a lining if you don't want to. You can totally just leave it as a pillowcase with a pocket on the bottom for the books. And as I said, because you can flip it back and forth, you can decide which side you want on the outside to be, which side you want to show. Do you want to show the kitty cat? Do you want to show the bunny? You can even turn it into a dog or a panda bear or any animal that you want. I highly recommend looking online a little bit, getting some ideas on how the faces look like so that you have some ideas. But this is pretty much just, in my case, it's a white face. So there is white dogs, there is panda bears, there's many animals that are white that you can use in order to finish up this piece. If you want to make a bunny the way I did, then go for it. If you want to make a kitty cat the way I did, go for it. You can make two kitty cats, one with open eyes, one with closed eyes. You can make two bunnies if you wanted to. Whatever you feel like doing, go for it, okay? You can make it into a bag, you can make it into a pillow, you can make it into a combination the way I do, where I have a pillow as well as a bag. The reason I do it as a combination is because it's great for kids to travel with. You will have a bag, but you also have a pillow so they can sleep on it. And then, of course, you have the zipper part, right? So you can put something inside if you wanted them to carry their books or iPad or whatever they have, or tablet or whatever they have, right? So I'm going to finish this up now, and then in a moment I will snap to it, show you the final result. But I'm curious, how are you going to finish it? So of course, the first idea you have to think about, are you going to make the backing the exact same way as I did, where you have two faces in the end? Or are you going to make it all in a solid color? What are you going to pick? I would love to know. And then of course, are you going to finish it up with two animals, one animal, or something totally different? Maybe you're going to use this as a mountain. You know, totally fine. You can totally not use animals. You can maybe put some trees on the front here and use this as like a snow mountain. Maybe you put a little sleigh here, put some animals here. And some humans, maybe glue something on. I'm sure you may have something there that you can use. So use this as your own creative template and figure out how you're going to finish it. You do not have to finish it exactly the same way I did, but I will, of course, write everything down the way I do it. So in case you want to replicate it. But I want you to have some creativity. Let's finish it up for part 3, and I'm going to snap right to it to show you my version. So here we go. Alrighty, here is the final result, for me at least. I hope you make a similar version of this. So you can see this is the cat side, and I'll get into all the details. So as I said, we have the eyes with a little bit of a dot right here. They're roughly aligned. Mine was a little tiny smush, probably too low on this side, but that's still totally fine. The heart as the nose, one of the hearts, and then I literally just used black yarn and sewed it on, so like embroidered, I guess, in like little loops in pieces. I mean, you can do it all in one scoop if you wanted to, but I didn't want a big loop hanging there, so I made it into smaller pieces. So for the whiskers, 3 on each side, and the middle one's just slightly longer. On both sides, and then I added the ears. For the ears, I didn't sew it on all the way. So as I said, I sewed it on like this, so it kind of hangs off a little bit and has a little bit more of a 3D effect. And I put the other hearts kind of upside down in the center here, which makes it really, really cute. Now, of course, you can also call this a mouse if you wanted to, but for me, it's a cat, so it's super adorable. And I put it on my pink side. On this side, I have the cover, and I actually wove some yarn through here. Like how you have some leggings or something, you have a tie on the inside. That's kind of what I did here, because you know that corner to corner is stretchable, and once you put some books in, this can really stretch out, and so having a little bit of yarn right here just to tie it up is very helpful. So all I did is I put one side here, made a knot, wove it in, wove it through here to the center, did the same on the other side, and therefore have a way of tying it up, and of course also loosening it up if I wanted to. Okay, now this side is reversible, so what you do is you kind of flip it over to this side, tuck the corners in. And now the cat is covered up and the bunny is shown. So for the bunny, similar version for the ears. Once I have this part sewn on, you won't see it on the back there. So make sure when you sew it on, you don't pull it all the way through. But this yarn, unless you use white, I pretty much just picked up some of these loops right here. I don't know if you can see it. So I was staying on this side when I, sewed this on. And then I didn't sew the bunny ears all the way on, so you can kind of flip them over like the way bunnies are. So you have a little bit more of a 3D effect. Here, I wanted to make sure that the eyes look slightly different. So they're kind of a half moon. And then the mouth, I did exactly the same way as I did the other one. The same is true for the nose. So then, as I said, I put on the inside the lining, and then I used my sewing machine to put my crochet onto the lining. So, but obviously that doesn't really work here on the corner, so that I just used actual yarn and wove, sewed this together here in the corner. But on this side and this side, I used my sewing machine. You can tell a little tiny bit. I used white yarn, so a little bit's visible, but it's not bad. And then when you open it up, you can see I have the pillow currently inside. And then I put it, and I showed you how to do the handles, pushed it through, made a double knot, and it kind of goes through right there. And because I have the lining with this hole right here, and therefore the handle is pulling on the lining, but not the crochet. So this part is not going to be pulled so much. So it's very stable. You can put a pillow inside, you can turn it into a bag, whatever you wish to do so. And in fact, because I made it like this, you can easily just pull it in, and it's not so visible that there is a handle right here. Yeah, I mean, you can see it, but it's not too obvious. So if you want to use it as a pillow or whatever, it totally works. And then you can just pull it back out. And you can put books inside here if you wanted to, or use it as an actual pillow. And what I'm going to do is I have this part right here that I'm going to, use for books, etc. And then just tie it up. On one side the tie is kind of visible, the other side is not, but that's totally fine. You can just tuck it in like so, and it's not super visible. So it just depends on which side you want to show, kitty cat or the bunny. So now it's time for you to finish yours. You do not have to finish it exactly the same way I did. I absolutely love the way mine turned out, and I'm going to use it probably for kids or even for myself. I mean, really, really soft and cozy. So it's a pillow, but it's also a bag. So would love to know what you are going to make and want to see your pictures. So remember to post your pictures into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki, and use the corresponding hashtag so that way I can find you, because if you're posting it by the deadline all mentioned on the pattern, then you know exactly that you may have a chance to win something. And tomorrow, at least if you're live here, tomorrow is going to be a very special event, and it's going to be a crochet party all about corner to corner, and you're going to hear the announcement of the 3 winners as well. So make sure you show up for that. The pop-up should be here somewhere, and if it doesn't, just make sure you hop over to my website to the pattern. It's either going to be the free pattern with ads on my website, or hop into my membership in the vault and you will see it ad free. I really, really hope you enjoyed this pattern, and I absolutely had a blast, and I hope you can finally do more corner to corner projects. I mean, I hope you learned everything you need to know in order to do corner to corner and simply have fun. I have Mystery Crochet Alongs monthly, so make sure you attend them and always sign up. They're always free, and they're really, really fun, and always have some kind of twist at the end. In this case, it's a bunny and a kitty cat in a multifunctional purpose as a multi-purpose bag / pillow. So I hope to see you for the live event, and otherwise I'll see you in the group or in my newsletter. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I'm publishing a video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. You're gonna want to, I promise you do.